Hi, I'm Gael, and in this video I will try to help you decide if the Camino Fisterra is a trail you should hike. The Camino Fisterra or Camino Finisterre is a trail that you can follow after reaching Santiago on your pilgrimage. You can go to either Finisterre, Muxia or both. It's 90 kilometers to get to one destination and about 120 kilometers to do both. Finisterre was believed to be the end of the world by the Romans. Obviously at that time they couldn't know that the westernmost point in continental Europe is actually Cabo da Roca in Portugal. It started before Christianity as a pagan, sun and stars worshipping destination until pilgrims reaching Santiago kept on hiking towards it, probably looking for a mystical epilogue to their journey. Though because an apostle did travel to Finisterre to destroy the pagan altar to the sun built there, amongst other things, it eventually did get recognized as an extension of the pilgrimage by the church. It is believed to be the place where the Virgin Mary came on a stone boat to encourage St. James on his mission to evangelize Galatia. When starting my 2 months walk on the Via Poggensis, then on the Camino Frances, I knew I wanted to go all the way to Finisterre and Muxia. And once I reached Santiago, leaving for 4 more days in Camino Magic was not even a question. Of all the Caminos that exist, this is the only one where Santiago is not your destination, but your starting point. The Camino Fisterra has some of the best scenery I had on my entire Camino. There are some nice gum tree forests that made me feel like I was back in Australia for a second, and the coastline is just beautiful. I thought that going to Finisterre or Muxia was a done thing for pilgrims. Turns out it gets much quieter than the Frances. The albergues were pretty empty and I didn't see a lot of pilgrims on the trail, though I was there at the end of November, so I'm sure summer sees more traffic. But because you register your walk in Santiago, there is no reliable data to know how many people keep on walking after Santiago. So, what is the best location to end your pilgrimage? Honestly, I don't think it really matters. Both Finisterre and Muxia are spectacular places to end your walk. Maybe Muxia is slightly less touristy than Finisterre, so if you want some downtime after your hike, it's a better place. But Finisterre is really nice too, so if I were you, I would just toss a coin. Like the Camino Frances, you could technically walk this trail all year round, but spring and autumn are the best. There are a few ups and downs, but if you have already made it to Santiago, it's nothing you can't handle. The Camino Fisterra is usually included in guidebooks that cover the Camino Frances, like Cicerone or Miam Miam Dodo. It is also included with the Frances on Far Out, and you can find it on Wise Pilgrim, Buen Camino, and Camino Tool. And CaminoDeSantiago.me is the most useful forum for all the Caminos. Finisterre and Muxia are fantastic places to spend some time. It's definitely worth spending some days off there. Unfortunately, I just had time to complete the Fisterra before going back to work, so I didn't get to spend much time there and I regret it. Though now it gives me a good excuse to come back. I met some people who didn't want to go further than Santiago because to them, Santiago was a destination, and having 1 or even 2 destinations after that made Santiago less special in their mind. And to be honest, I think that makes sense. The destination of a long-distance trail is something special. It's a place that when you get there probably seems familiar because you've seen so many photos of it before, but yet feels abstract in your mind because it represents the end of a crazy adventure. It's always somewhere in the back of your head when you walk. And arriving in front of the cathedral, saying goodbye to your friends, going to the mass, it's a very special and emotional moment for most people. And I can see why some people want to keep that as a climax of their walk. Personally, I always knew that if I had enough time, I'd love to go to Finisterre and Muxia. I heard great things about this section and I like the idea of having an epilogue to a trail because I've never experienced it before. It can be strange because you already had this end of trail moment. You already said goodbye to the people you met on the way, and yet you're still walking on the Camino. And the funny thing is, when you get to Finisterre, it does feel a lot like it's the end of your walk for real. Again. Then you still keep walking. Again. Which makes going to Muxia after that feel like an epilogue to an epilogue. But as strange as the experience can be, I loved it. It feels like you're pinching just a little more Camino magic before it's really over and time to go home. And it also makes it easier to digest your adventure. A lot of people get to Santiago, then on a plane on the same day, which can be a bit brutal. And let's not forget that it's a beautiful walk. So yes, when I do other Caminos, if time allows, I'd love to do the Camino Fisterra again. That's it. I hope you found this video useful. If so, you can help this channel by simply subscribing and liking this video. If you have any question, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching and happy trails!